I have a mom confession, and it's not a good one. I suck at writing letters. The only way right now for me to communicate with my son in boot camp is by writing letters. I just found something really cool. I'm not sponsored, nothing at all, but I found this website that's called Monday Delivery, and I can send postcards. I can upload pictures. They turn it into a postcard, and they mail it to my son. It looks like this. So I just uploaded a picture and then typed, and they just do it all. The thing about this is I can send this to anybody I have an address for, not just boot camp. So I actually was able to send postcards to a few of my students from last year that I have addresses for that I haven't written to yet. It's only like $3 a postcard, which is like the same cost as me going to Walgreens, buying a postcard, writing it, putting a stamp on it, and then driving it to the mailbox. Cool, right? I don't have to suck so much as a mom.
All right, Madeline, good evening.
All right. Good evening, Andrew. How are you?
I am good. This was a last-minute add-on.
Yes.
So, all right, welcome to all of our Facebook group members.
Hello.
So, I've got Madeline on here. She is our community manager at Monday Delivery.
Hello. I hope everyone's having a great new year.
So it is the new year, and my name
Yes.
is Andrew. So we are going to be your hosts tonight, and we're going to just take 15 minutes, 20 minutes to go over recruit mail, everything
Yes.
recruit mail. And
Yeah.
so, Madeline, you're watching the chat.
I am. Yep. So please, if you have any questions at all, type them up. I will be on the lookout for them. So.
Yep. And let us know if you can't hear us or you can't see the presentation. Also, I'm going to put up here is our support number. Now, obviously, we cannot respond back to it if you text us right now. But if you ever have any questions related to mail or boot camp or military, just send us a text message and we will be able to respond back to you. So I'll leave that up there for you guys to copy that down. But we are going to go over just a few things on mail. There are a lot of questions today in our Facebook group. So I just wanted to make sure we answered all those. So
yes, absolutely.
All right, let's get started. All right, I'm not going to take a long time on this because we have a whole podcast dedicated to OPSEC and PERSEC.
Yes.
So we did that a couple of weeks ago, and you can find that on mondaydelivery.com. You can go to our podcast.
Yes.
And we have a whole thing on OPSEC and PERSEC. So I want to go ahead and just introduce this really quickly. First of all, we are not representing the DoD, Department of Defense, government, military, the commands, the branches. We are volunteers from Monday Delivery, obviously. I'm a veteran. Madeline's is a daughter.
I'm the daughter of a veteran. Yep.
So soldier, I'm Marine Corps, so Army and Marine Corps.
Yep.
So just want to give that disclosure. We're not speaking on behalf of the military. And so a lot of things, you can let us know if we get something wrong, for a particular branch, we may not know all the answers to, but I just want to give that disclosure really quickly. And I
Yes.
also want to let you know that we pray for you all. We pray for all your postcards, your letters, and we do this just to hope to give you strength and encouragement through this.
Yeah, and actually we on our Facebook groups, there's a really great tool on Facebook. It's called Ask for Prayer. So please go on there as well and type in your prayers and we'll pray over you, whatever you need. So
I love that. When that feature came out on Facebook, it blew me away.
that's
I
an
don't know.
amazing feature.
I don't know why I thought they were like anti-faith, but it just
It's
really,
nice to have for anyone who needs
yeah.
that. It's like it's there. It's not in your face, but it's there if you really do need it. And it really what's great for us since we are that faith-based community and having those groups, it's really nice to have.
And I saw one of our groups, we actually had 16 people sign up for prayer requests.
That's amazing.
That's pretty cool. I saw that today.
That's great.
So OPSEC, PERSEC, really quickly, I won't get into it.
Yes.
Operational security, personal security. Only reason I bring it up is just that's a big question when you're writing to your recruit, you're writing to your service member, your active duty. You want to make sure, obviously, normally it's in an envelope, so you don't have to worry about it too much. But you just want to keep, be aware of things to send, not to send, who to share the address with. You definitely want to share your recruit's address with friends and family that you trust.
That you trust. Yep.
That
That's what we talked about on the video. It's like, who is your tight circle that you would trust with basically anything? That's who you can trust. That's who you can normally reach out to. So
absolutely, but never, we'll go over a little bit this in a little bit, but don't send cash, don't send any checks or anything that in mail. Don't disclose anything you wouldn't want somebody to read if they got hold of your letter or if it got lost in the mail. So that's basically what I want to go over with OPSEC and PERSEC. Mail, it's not that big of a deal, but there's some other things on sharing on social media. And,
right.
So definitely go check out our podcast or our blog. We have a blog on OPSEC and PERSEC as well. So, all right. Do we have a question?
No, I just see from Christina. It's wonderful to have a group that answers questions. I'm very happy to be a part of this admin team on Facebook. Happy New Year, Andrew and Madeline.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Christina.
He's in our Army Fort Benning group.
Yes.
So, and we
She is
do.
amazing.
Yeah. So we do have a lot of volunteers. We have Dwayne who does a lot of videos. So if you've seen videos, he puts prayers out daily.
Every morning.
We have Shawnee's. She's over in our Navy group.
Yep.
So we really appreciate everything that you guys do because we cannot do this ourselves.
No.
All right. So addresses. I thought this would be a nice, clean slide here.
This is a good one.
It's kind of a small print, but I will give you, if you go to our blog and you just search for recruit addresses, this will come up. So we have all the addresses. So really quickly, since we have all the branches, the Marine Corps, if you haven't received your address yet from your recruit, you will get that in the mail the first 2 weeks.
Yes.
And this is a sample of what that address looks like. So the company, the battalion, and the platoon, excuse me. Those are the most important things when you're writing that letter. You got to have the company, the battalion, and the platoon.
Platoon, yep.
So that's the Marine Corps. Coast Guard. You get that address within the first week. Now, I just learned something today. I actually contacted Cape May, and I then also did a poll in our Coast Guard group. You can get that mailing address, obviously, prior to your recruit leaving, because it's just 1 Monroe Avenue, Cape May, New Jersey.
Yep.
You don't have to have the company. You don't have to have the hall. All you have to have is the name, which you know.
That's nice.
So, but if you do have the company and the hall, please put that in there. Now, I get, they're so small that they can find your recruit pretty handedly. So, but you will get that address from your recruit that first week or so. They'll start writing. But if you haven't heard from them and you want to send a postcard or a letter, you can go ahead and do that. If you just got there, it might take a little bit for them to find them. But if you don't want to put, the hall or the company on there, that's fine. So, but I would, if you have it, use it. So,
yes, definitely.
All right, go Air Force. So you'll get that. Now, Air Force is different from all the other branches. You actually hear from your recruit within the first 72 hours.
Wow.
So, so they will call you. Everybody calls within the first 72 hours, but you actually get the address. So they will either call you and tell you, or they will send you a text message with a picture.
Nice.
Now, on your Air Force, all you need is the squadron, which is TRS, and the flight, which is FLT. So the squadron and the flight, that's all you need to be able to send a letter to your recruit. And when you send postcards, and we'll go over that in a second, we have the address for you. So you don't even have to know the zip code.
Yes.
And the way what we deliver them, it's even less important that you have the whole address. So just that squadron and that flight.
So squadron TRS, flight
Yep.
FLT.
Yep. So, all right, go Navy. So the Navy, poor Navy and Army, it takes a little while for you guys to get that address.
Yes, it does.
So the most common way is that you get what we call a form letter in the mail. And that's actually after that first phase that they go through of arriving, going through admin, medical, all of that. So it can be about 9 to 14 days. And you'll if you get a phone call, make sure you get the ship and the division. So ship, SHIP, and division, DIV. That's all you need to mail a letter to your recruit at Great Lakes, RTC.
Okay, right.
So it's ship and division. As long as you have that, we can give you the rest of the address. So you're either going to get a form letter, or they're going to call and give you that information, or they're going to write you. So, and then Army, kind of basically the same thing. Army may call. They have a little bit more access to phones than the other branches, but it could be 3 to 5 weeks until you get that commander's letter with that address on there.
Yep.
So those are the addresses, and sometimes your recruit can move. Doesn't happen a lot. So if, for some reason they say they're not getting your mail, it could be a couple of reasons, but one is that maybe they moved, to a different division or a different squadron, and you'll just have to unfortunately wait till you hear from them to get that updated information. So
exactly. I do have a question here, Andrew.
Yes.
This is from, I can't see the name, there's a Facebook user. So my husband wants me to post his address on his Facebook, but I shouldn't do that, right? But if his friend messaged me for it, then should I send it?
That is a great question. All right, I'm going to give 2 answers. Probably you wouldn't want just to put it out for anybody to be able to see it.
Right.
However, recruit addresses are not a secret. They're you can go on to the specific branch website and you can see the address. But I would probably just direct message it to the friends and family. I wouldn't post it generically on a Facebook page.
Yeah, I think we had requested from the last video, maybe like a private Facebook group of people you definitely trust and support. You can definitely post it there if you know everyone. It's more just like out on a normal Facebook page. Sometimes we get a little wary about that. But again, if you know them, then that's who you can share it with.
Yep. And the big thing with that, it's not so much that you're posting it out there, but it's just getting into the habit of not posting it once they get out of boot camp, because once they're out of boot camp, it does become a little bit more serious. So you don't want to put their deployment addresses or even their duty station out there into the public, because now you're giving away what we call troop movement or locations of troop members, and it's just not your husband or your loved one. It's the whole the whole squadron or whatever. So awesome question. I would just give that to them privately. So, and I will show you a different way. Another good thing for friends and family are our postcards, and we do have a share feature on our postcards on Monday delivery that you can actually give them a link, and the address automatically adds to their account if they have a Monday delivery account. So I'll show you guys that in a second. So good question. But you can share addresses. I just want to make certain everybody knows that. Anybody can write your recruit as long as they have the address. So, all right, best practices. Right. Okay, so even if you don't have the address yet, start writing letters. I'm a big proponent for handwritten letters. I went to boot camp 20-some years ago, still had the letters my mom sent me. We didn't have the fancy Monday delivery and all of that. You can do it on your phone or the computer. So write some letter. Just handwrite that letter. It's nice to see your handwriting. There's just something about just receiving a real
Yeah.
letter.
Especially my mom would take a very long time just handwriting everything, and then she'd fold in pictures. Like, it's all just those little touches that matter from home that are just
Yeah.
so encouraging to see.
Yep, absolutely. So handwriting is a lost for art form. So, right. Whether you use Monday delivery or a different service, just keep writing, even if you don't think they're getting the letters. If they say they're not getting the letters, just keep writing. Don't get discouraged. That's the biggest thing. Don't get discouraged with mail because
Yeah.
it's just tricky with mail and the mail in the mail rooms on base. A lot of these bases they're getting thousands, tens of thousands of letters daily and weekly.
It is a lot of mail coming in.
So they've got to sort all of that and then get it to your recruit. And
Yes.
so depending on training schedules, depending on the holidays, if it's a down day, which you don't get too often in boot camp, but maybe they don't even pick up mail that day. So, but on 99% of the time, mail is picked up Monday through Friday. It's collected Monday through Friday and mailed for the recruits. Weekends, they normally don't get mail. And
Mhm.
so, all right, let me just go through some best practices. Always listen to your recruit. So if your recruit tells you to mail something, mail it. If they say
Yes.
mail it, mail it. All right. Listen to your recruit. If they send me a box of cookies, send them a box of cookies. But traditionally, you're not going to send them any food. So if your recruit tells you to mail them something, there are circumstances where they want inserts, they want moleskin. Um, some of the branches do allow them to have certain types of sports bars
Right.
and hygiene. So if your recruit tells you to mail it, mail it. If you're handwriting, date and number your letters, just because, again, if you're mailing every day, and just on that, Madeline, you can send as many letters as you want to your recruit.
Yeah, there is no limit at all. So
So,
it is nice, as you said, that's actually very smart to number the letters so they know which ones did I read, which ones did
yeah,
I not read,
no,
because there's a lot going on in their minds already.
yeah, if you're trying to keep a story chronologically, you can let it number
Yeah.
those. Yep, there's our share your recruit's address. So definitely you
Yes.
can do that. Combine handwritten and postcards. You can include games, photos, articles. So kind of some, just add some fun stuff because they get very limited time to actually read mail.
Yeah.
So make it kind of fun. There are some groups out there that have like letter templates, kind of
Right.
do a Q&A like, what's your favorite food so far at boot camp? What's the funniest thing your drill instructor has said?
Yeah.
What are you reading any books? Just kind of make it, so that you can kind of interact back and forth with them.
Yeah. I had a great dialogue with someone on Facebook because she was having a hard time thinking about what to write, and she felt bad writing things that weren't like big events. And I said, no, the little things are what's important. I mean, it just reminds them of home. And sometimes those little things are just so exciting to hear about.
Yep, and do bullet points, make it easy for them to
Yeah.
read. You know, I don't know if there's a difference between female and male, but my mind is like I just need to see easy reading, right?
Bullet
So
points are always nice.
bullet points are always nice. And just on that really quickly, delivering bad news.
Yes.
And again,
Yeah.
we talked about that in one of our podcasts,
Yep.
Monday Cheddar, that you can find. Um, a lot of your recruits are already at boot camp, but you can take this, once they're deployed or at their duty station, have a plan on how you want to deliver bad news. I wouldn't recommend putting bad news in a letter. So, a death of a family member, someone sick, a pet, is a big deal. So you want to follow the chain of command. If it is an emergency or if you do need to give them some news, go through the Red Cross
Yes. Yep.
to do that, and they will deliver that. So I would encourage you. It's a busy time at boot camp, a lot going on. You don't want to distract them, so you want to be really careful on what kind of news you are delivering them in a letter. So, and unfortunately, they still call them Dear John letters.
I
Have you
don't
heard that?
know. I
Like,
have heard that. I've heard that term, but I'm not sure if they still call it that.
yeah, so if you're gonna break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend, it, does make an impact, so, you may have to wait till they graduate. Um,
Don't do it over a letter.
yeah, don't do it over a letter. Quality and consistency versus quantity. So, I think I've said this correctly. You don't have to write 4 pages every letter. less is more sometimes. So that recruit just wants to hear their name called out at mail call. You could send an empty envelope, Madeline, and they'll still be happy. So don't think you have to, like, you're not spending hours and hours and hours writing to them.
Right.
Again, just make it simple. Just write some fun stuff, put it in an envelope and mail it.
That's why I really like the postcards, because you just put an image on, maybe one Bible verse, maybe just a I love you, and that's enough to just brighten up the day.
Yep, absolutely. So, assume letters may not be delivered. That's always discouraging, but just again, don't get discouraged. If you're a recruit, this happens a lot. And even with our postcards, they could be delivered to the mailroom, but for some reason they're not getting to the recruit. And again,
Right.
I said earlier, training schedules affect mail, holidays affect mail.
Yep.
So you could talk to them on a Thursday and they'll be like, I haven't got any mail. And then Friday they get all the letters.
All of it.
So don't get discouraged. Know that they will eventually get your letters. And yes, I do think sometimes mail just gets lost. I really just, unfortunately, that's just the nature of it.
So we encourage you to just keep writing, just keep sending
writing.
letters.
Yep. So do we have any chats? Are we good?
We do have one from Carla. I think this goes back to the addresses, but she was just adding that we were given a unit number and we're also told to address it to Lackland AFB rather than JBSA. She just says which is different from the previous slides indicated, but definitely there might be different directions given to you, and you definitely follow whatever your recruit is telling you.
Yep. So if you send a postcard through our system Monday delivery, you don't need the unit. All you need is the TRS and the flight. And honestly, you can leave the unit off, but if you have it, use it, but you don't have to have it. So, but good question. And the last day to send mail, it's always tricky. And I'm not up on all the branches. But once they get past their final evolution, I would just keep sending, just knowing they may not get it and you may not get it back. So don't send the original recipe from your great grandmother's chicken soup. It gets lost.
It might get lost.
Yeah, but
you can send a copy.
Yeah, send a copy. But I would send, hoo-yah, you're almost there, or congratulations. Once they kind of get toward the end, they're going to graduate, you can go ahead and do that.
You can maybe even save it until they come back and hand it to them.
So what not to do. So I'll just do some easy ones. No money, no checks.
Nope.
I do know that you can send gift cards through different services. Unless they really tell you they need money, I just wouldn't risk it. A lot of it's non-refundable. If you send money or a check, it gets lost. And
it could get lost, yeah.
Yep. So they have money, they get paid. So unless it's a case where they're telling you they need money or a gift card, I would just wait. No care packages. Now, again, some of the branches do let you send care packages. They have their different rules. So listen to your recruit on that. Listen to your groups and what you're communicating within your families on what to send. But in most cases, you're not going to be sending tons of cookies and fun stuff. So no glitter, no music, nothing flying out of the card or the letter. No hygiene normally. Again, you can send moleskin, which is for blisters. I think you can send inserts for your shoes. There are some female hygienic things that are specifically allowed. And then traditionally no food.
Yes.
So
yes.
All right. Those are the do's and don'ts. All right. So just a couple of things on letters. So USPS, put a stamp on it and just put it in the mail. Takes 3 to 5 days, maybe a little bit longer. If you want to use our Recruit Warrior letters, you can do that. It's at lettertrack.com. Create an account. It's about $2.50 a letter. Every letter comes with a prepaid envelope inside of it. So your recruit can mail you back a letter. So that is free. That is included in it. You can have 3 images. You can have as many pages as you want to type. We print those and we overnight those to the different bases. And so we send those 3 days a week. And so they do get there pretty quickly. And tonight happens to be the deadline for Friday. So if you want to send a letter and you want it to get there Friday, make sure you get that done tonight or early tomorrow morning. So that's at lettertrack.com. And you have to have a different account than with Monday delivery. But this is a really cheap way to send a letter and then also send an envelope with a stamp on it so your recruit can mail it back to you.
And no limit to words, and you are able to add up to 3 colored images, which is really, really nice.
So it's super nice. So that's a letter track. I wanted to talk about that. And then the next one, let's see, what do we got? Our postcards. So this is our signature. So these are postcards. So
Yay.
they're glossy print. They're really nice cardstock. We send those overnight, those to the bases 3 days a
Yep.
week. So they get there pretty quickly. We have all the addresses preloaded for you. So
Yes.
like earlier, you don't have to worry about the unit and all of that. Credits never expire. You can send postcards to your recruit, to family members, to your active duty service member. So send away if it's like
Yes.
it's National Be Kind to a Server.
Be Kind to Food Servers Month is in January. And that's
Yep.
a great thing. We've got national holiday postcards out now, but you can add your own images, like up to 4 on the whole entire postcard, which is really nice because I've seen so many lovely family photos and everything that you can just add. Or you can choose from our collection. We have a ton of holiday ones or just traditionally like encouraging ones, even some with Bible verses. It's really fun.
So I just wanted to go over really quickly what Monday delivery looks like. So I'm going to have to go over to a different screen, which makes me nervous. So I just want to show you how easy it is to do a postcard. So once you create Monday delivery, and I wanted to show how to share an address because that was a question earlier.
Great.
So once you create your account, this is kind of what your dashboard looks like. Go to your address book, and here's where all your contacts are. So you can see I send postcards to people. So you can see where it says share a contact. So if I want to share my recruit's contact, I just give that person this link and it automatically adds it to their account. So you don't even have to share it over. You can just share the link and that will appear in their contact. So, but when you add your recruit's address, you can put their rank, name, email if you want to. But the address, if you send it to any US, so if you just wanted to send Madeline a postcard, you would just use the US or international address. But if you want to send it, let's say, to Cape May, you just pick the company and you pick the hall, which is optional, and you just add that after that. So you just pick, so there's Navy. So let's do Air Force since we talked about that. So here's your squadron. So 1, 2, 3, your flight, 2, 3, 4, dorm and unit. Those are optional. So you don't have to have those. And then once you put their name in, you just hit add and you're ready to go. And then once you have that in there, you click create postcard and you can either upload. Here's my wonderful son. So you can upload, you can move it around if you want to, or you can delete it and you can select from our collection. So you can use one of our cool branch cards. You can go to Love and Friendship if you want to. I know Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yes.
So we have Scriptures and Faith. So if you want to send, I like this one right here.
That's a great one.
And then you just typed your message here. I love you. I love you. I love you. You can change the font if you want to, the color, all of that. You could add the recipient if you didn't start in the address book. I could go in here and I could actually choose a different one if I wanted to. So you just choose it and then hit next. And then you pick the date you want it delivered. And so this is the nice thing. You can schedule these out. So if I wanted this to be there for Valentine's Day, I would probably pick February 9th. And so,
good one.
And then I confirm my address is correct and I hit send and it is saving and there it is. So, and we also have monthly plans, which is, I think, the most affordable and you can cancel at any time, but just gives you X amount of cards per month. And again, they don't expire. And so you can do that. So
I do have a question here from a Facebook user. Which service can I use without an address for now?
What branch is it?
I'll keep my eye out.
You really have, if Coast Guard is the only one that you can send to if you just have the generic address. So because they don't have to have the hall or the dorm company.
Okay, they said Air Force.
So you have to wait till you get the squadron and the flight. Just because there's too many recruits for that, they'll never find your recruit.
Okay, and then there's another one. And is this an app or just a website?
So it's just the website. So mondaydelivery.com. I will try to. This is mondaydelivery.com. And so you can pick from our different, you can do different collages if you want to, a single or 4, and you just register. After you register, you come in and go to your address book. And then the cool thing is you can see all the orders. And then your recruit, actually, once they graduate, they can go into what we call my gallery. And I don't have any in here, so I wasn't expecting to show this, but all of the cards that you sent them will be in their gallery. So they can actually go back and look at all the postcards that you sent them at boot camp, and going forward, all of them will be there as well. So
it's a really nice feature.
I don't know if you guys saw that or not. All right, so I'm going to go to letters really quickly. So again, warrior letters are at lettertrack.com. And again, once you register, you're going to go in and you're going to put your address. These are all in envelopes. You can click on write letter right there, and your address, your warrior, we call them warriors, right? Your warrior. So you just pick what branch, or if you're just sending it to somebody that's not at boot camp, you can just send USPS. But if you do Air Force, for example, you put their name, their TRS, their flight number, TRS number. The dorm is optional. And here's where you're going to write your letter. And then you can add 3 images right here. So that is letter track. So I'm going to find my way back here to you.
Great.
All right.
Yeah, I see the comment. Okay, hope he calls soon. Just reached last night. So yeah, once you get that call, definitely get that address ready.
Yeah. So, all right, I'll bring us both up. All right.
There we go.
So if you have any questions, you can text us at 202-831-3627. We're pretty good at getting back to it pretty quickly. Unless you do it in the middle of the night, then I might be in bed.
We are on Eastern Standard Time too. So
that's correct. I'd encourage you to go to mondaydelivery.com/blog. So you can find the addresses there. We have a lot of cool articles that parents have written, some moms have written. And so
great resources, and keep commenting on our Facebook groups. We there's so many of our admins, and including me, that are out there. I'm reading your comments and answering questions. So if you guys have questions there as well, please let us know.
So, all right. Well, we will stop there. Tonight is the due date. So for Friday. So if you want to send a letter through Letter Track, or you want to send a postcard through Monday Delivery, we're going to print those and overnight those tomorrow to all the different branches. So, all right. We look forward to keeping up to date with you. Madeline, thanks for jumping on.
Thanks, Andrew. And Christina, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks to all of our admin. Thanks to all of you, our family members, that, keep contributing, keep telling us new information. Because again,
it's really helpful.
Yeah. You guys usually know more than we do. So, and those questions, a stupid question, if you're in other groups and they're being mean to you, just let us know. No, but if you hear something that's, you're not too sure about, don't freak out. Just come ask us.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll give you the gouge. So, all right. I will talk to you later, Madeline. Thanks.
Have a great evening, everybody.
Bye, everybody.